Well, hello, darling. Fredward and I have a hell of a mini-series that we wanted to show you guys. It's a 5-part mini-series, 50 of the spookiest urban legends from every state, and this mini-series is called Spooky USA. Alright, let's get into it. So whether you dismiss urban legends as children's lore or believe they're based on fact, these 50 tales will send shivers down your spine. Frederick, right? He's already shivering. Okay, so no matter where in the United States you're from, your home state is sure to have its share of urban legends and urban myths. These scary stories aren't just for Halloween, they're whispered between campers, they're passed from town to town, and reserved for nights when the power goes out. Hell fucking yes. Urban legends may be spooky stories, but they aren't always necessarily ghost stories, although some of them are paranormal, which we like those. We like all the horror stories, don't we, Fredward? They could have happened to someone you know, a relative, or friend. These are the stories that make you do a double take when you walk past an abandoned place. Absolutely. Love abandoned place stories. Freaky. They make you check to make sure your door is locked when you're home alone. Be careful next time you're driving the back roads of America because you never know what scary urban legends you are going to encounter. So let me, the Red Dahlia, and Fredward enlighten you. Okay? Alright, we're going to start with Alabama. Hug and Molly. The legend of Hug and Molly is clearly a tool used by parents to get their children to obey the rules. A little harsh. The story, native to Abbeville, tells of a phantom woman who appears to children if they stay out late at night. She grips the lingering children tightly and screams in their ear. She's not meant to cause death, just one heck of a fright. Sounds like something straight out of a horror movie, right? Right? Am I right? Hell yeah. If I was out late, I'm not a child, but if I was out late and some crazy lady grabbed me and screamed in my ear, I'd probably throat punch her. Just out of sheer terror. Okay, so that was Alabama Hug and Molly. Alaska, Qualopalik, and I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but I don't care. We're just gonna call it the QP. No, that sounds like quarter pound. The Qualopalik, an Inuit version of a mermaid or siren, calls with a hum to children who are wandering too close to the seashore. She then takes them away in her baby pouch. The greenish woman-like creature will never return a child once she has taken it into the depths. Sounds like a good way to convince your kids not to go into the water, right? Right? That's what we're getting from it? Yeah. It's a little freaky. Although, it would make a really good horror movie. Of course, I'm going to say that about every single one of these because I think everything should be turned into a horror movie. It's good. It's good. Arizona Slaughterhouse Canyon. Also known as Luana's Canyon, the urban legend of Slaughterhouse Canyon tells the gruesome tale of a 19th century gold miner who failed to come home to his family one night. Without his earnings, the mother and her children couldn't buy food and they began to starve. When she couldn't stand it any longer, the wife chopped her kids into pieces, tossed them into the nearby river, and died of despair. Her cries can still be heard echoing through the canyon. I know this is an urban legend, but there's been a lot of people who talk about it. So maybe it's true, maybe it's not. It's up to you to decide. It's not really up to us to know for fact or not, because all of this is just opinion, but I'm a believer. Alright, Arkansas, the Gurdon Light. Like many urban legends, the story of the Gurdon Light has several variations. Of course it does, because it's kind of like a game of telephone through the generations. You know, this happened this way, the next generation tells it a little different, and so on and so on. But, so in one, a railroad worker was hit by a train and he was decapitated. His spirit can still be seen today, searching for his lost light. In another, the railroad worker bore a violent grudge against his boss who had fired him. He murdered his former employee with a railroad spike. Good fucking God. And the victim now wanders the tracks. While the Gurdon Light is well documented, no one has been able to offer any explanation as to what the hell it really is. I remember seeing this on, I think it was Unsolved Mysteries, the floating light down the railroad track, and this is the story that's attached to it. They claim it to be urban legend, but my goosebumps and the hair standing up on my arms say, fuck that, that really happened. What do you think? Never be too sure. Okay, story number 5. Wait, let me see here. Okay, so we did Hug and Molly 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, we're on number 5. Okay. California Charman of San Antonio Creek. Per local lore, a father and son were trapped in a horrible fire. The father perished, and before help could arrive, the traumatized son lost his mind. He skinned his father and then ran into the forest. Now known forever as Charman, his black and burnt body is said to attack motorists on Creek Road in Ojai as he seeks more human skins. And I don't know if I pronounced that correctly. Ojai, OJ, I don't know. Ojai, maybe the J is silent, but that's in California. Okay, that's super fucking creepy. Don't scares me. Ugh. All right, number 6, Colorado, the Ridge Home Asylum. I love stories about asylums. Maybe because I'm a little fucking nuts myself. I don't know, but I like them. I like them a lot. Okay. The Ridge Home Asylum was a real facility that opened in Arvada in 1912, but it's become an urban legend because of its history. It reportedly housed patients who were horribly mistreated, some of whom weren't even mentally incapable, but had just been forsaken by their families. That's really fucking sad. They were just deserted, just left there. Though it was demolished in 2004, people say they can still hear the screams and see the apparitions of former patients on the grounds, all over the grounds. But maybe they're just people looking for last minute Halloween costumes. I don't fucking think so. That's stupid. I believe. Do you? I don't know. I know everybody's different. All right, number 7. Connecticut, Dudley Town. I think I've heard of this one before because it sounds familiar already. The misfortunes that have occurred in Dudley Town starting in the 1700s are so terrible and numerous that its nickname is Village of the Damned. Is this where the movie comes from? Because that was a good fucking movie. Okay. The now completely deserted town is said to have been home to many suicides, disappearances, and even demonic activity that have given rise to several urban legends. It is believed that the founders of the village, and by extension the village itself, are forever cursed. Sounds like Village of the Damned movie, doesn't it? Yeah. Number 8. Okay, we're in Delaware. Fort Delaware. So a prisoner camp during the Civil War, Fort Delaware in Delaware City was ultimately home to more than 30,000 Confederate soldier inmates. The few thousand who died before they could leave the Union fort are said to still haunt the area. Speaking of haunting, are you looking for a scary Halloween costume? What is it with the Halloween costumes? We're not even anywhere near Halloween. But that's not true, because for a lot of us, it's not just a holiday. It's a lifestyle. Right, Fredward? He's a fool. Florida. All right, Captain Tony's. Since 1852, Captain Tony's, the oldest saloon in Key West, has been known to be haunted. Doors slam for no apparent reason, and there are inexplicable banging noises and frequent ghostly visitations. Perhaps that's because it's the site of the town's original morgue. They put a bar in a morgue? That is fucking brilliant. Okay, and it was built around a tree that the town once used for hanging pirates. Yikes, double fucking whammy. We should probably visit that place. I better put that on the bucket list. So that was in Florida at Captain Tony's, just so you reiterate that. All right. I don't know what number we're on. I'm thinking this is number 8. Georgia, the Song of the Cell. As urban legend goes, in 1848, Alec and his wife Betsy both slaves were in their home one night when their master, drunk and belligerent, crashed open the door. He attempted to attack Betsy, but Alec fought him off. Undeterred, the master chased Alec up a ladder into a loft. As the struggle continued, the master lost his balance, fell out of the loft, and he died. That's what happens, you fucking asshole. Even though Alec turned himself in to the sheriff the next morning, explaining that what happened was self-defense, he was still charged with murder. Of course he was. That's just disgusting. Par for the course of the antebellum South, Alec was imprisoned in the old Lawrenceville jail and later executed unjustly for the crime. People say they can still hear his sorrowful song traveling through the walls of the old jail. That's a really sad one. Jeez. Number 9, Hawaii. Pali Highway. Pali, the Hawaiian volcano goddess, has many myths attached to her name. One tells of her ill-fated union with the demigod Kamapuas. I'm sorry, I'm butchering these words, but I'm trying my best. Kamapuas, who was half pig and half human. The two supernatural beings had a terrible breakup, agreeing to never see each other again. That's why, as urban legend has it, if you carry pork with you when you travel over the Pali Highway in Oahu, your car will come to an inexplicable halt. So next time you're in the area, we advise to sticking to chicken. Or beef. Anything. Just don't do pork. Okay. Number 10. This is our last one for tonight for this episode 1. And this is in Idaho. This is called The Water Babies of Massacre Rocks. And this already sounds fucking ridiculous. This urban legend is about starvation and infanticide. Yep. Told ya. Ridiculous. So if you're squeamish, you may want to skip ahead. When famine hit the local area of Pocatello, mothers resorted to drowning their babies in the rivers instead of letting them starve to death. It is said that those babies turned into fish-like imps whose new mission was to trick or even murder people. I mean, that could be a good cheesy horror movie, and I really like cheesy horror movies. Like, they're like my favorite. Along with the OG slashers, like Freddy, Jason, Michael Myers, Leatherface, all them motherfuckers. Yeah. Alright, so we got all the way to Idaho. Next time we'll start with Illinois. So that's the 10 for that now. Like I said, this is going to be a 5-part miniseries. This is just part 1. I don't have a whole lot else to say, except for, okay, I do have a few things to say. Wherever you're from, if there's like an urban legend or an actual true scary story or an unsolved mystery of some kind that happened in your state, put that in the comments. Let me know, because I eventually will pick one and dive further into it and do a whole episode on it. So I would love to hear your guys' stories. I don't care if it's paranormal, urban legend, anything pertaining to horror, creepy, weird, mysterious, you know, all that good stuff that me and Fredward like. Right, Fredward? He loves it. He's scared to death. I always do that joke that he's scared to death because he's a skeleton. Okay. Sorry, I'm off this week. Anyways, off this weekend, I should say. I'm off all the time. I'm just weird. I have to be weird or I'll die. Pretty sure that's like a thing. So, okay. Put that in the comments. Creepy, weird, mysterious, urban legend stories, whatever you got for me. Let me know in the comments, and I'm going to pick one and dive into it and do a whole episode on it. So I can't wait to hear what you guys come up with. Also, what was I going to say? If you can add me on my other social medias, the Red Dahlia, and it's the R3D and then Dahlia. So red is R3D, not RED. Just so you know, because there might be other ones, I don't know. But anyways, yeah, I'm on TikTok, I'm on YouTube, I'm also on Instagram. My Instagram is actually AmberRayHay83, but I do post a lot of the Red Dahlia content on there for you to see. I post a lot of like the horror cosplay and just creepy memes and funny stuff, just actually a little bit of random fuckery, because that's kind of my fun page, my whatever you want to call it, my whatever page. So check that out if you want. I'm also on Facebook, the Red Dahlia, and I just started that page, so it's brand new. I'm just getting things rolling. Okay, just a quick mention about my podcast. Scared Sexy Podcast is hopefully going to air the pilot episode April 1st or May 1st. I'm hoping for April 1st, and it's a very good possibility. I've already got my first episode scripted. I'm just waiting on some new equipment and things like that. So yeah, I might actually get that out. And like I said before, a time or 2 or 5 times already, I don't know. I repeat myself a lot. I'm sorry. I'm getting old. That's what happens. He's over here like, yeah, old my ass. No, seriously, I'm like in my 40s. I'm old. Um, the podcast is mostly going to be horror related content. And that's awesome, right? Because we love horror stuff. I also am going to throw in an occasional topic. Like the last 10 minutes of the podcast will kind of touch base on other topics such as pop culture, music, history, art, life, love, relationships, trauma, just anything, just to be talking and getting raising awareness for things and just getting things out there, which I feel like everybody should do. Don't hold that shit in. Okay. And of course, we're going to get our daily dose of trauma. Actually, not daily. It's going to be a weekly podcast, Monday nights. So you'll get your weekly dose of terror every Monday night from my Scared Sexy podcast. I will continue to do the scary story time videos for you, for those who want to see my face and gorgeous Fredward over here. But I know a lot of you, while you're working or you're working out at the gym or whatever it is, you don't really have time to watch the videos, but you want to hear the creepy stories and you like the sound of my annoying voice. I'm not sure why, but many of you had told me that. So this podcast is actually for you. I'm making it for you. Plus, it'll be fun as hell to do. So, anywho, I just hit 18 minutes, so I'm going to call it quits. And in a couple of days here, I will have episode 2 of our Spooky USA miniseries out. All right? Okay. Sunday night, it's the start of a new week. I wish you the best. I wish you good health, good fortune, and stay spooky, because that's the only way to be, right? Right. Okay. Have a good night. I love you all. Bye.